Hey, Shalom. Let's start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh. I want to also say, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Barakatham to you, Akim. Double honor to our apostles, who are elders who rule well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. I also say blessed salutations to you women out there that endure truth and sincerity, and also the wheat amongst tares. This lesson I want to go over is pertaining to what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, because everything that's necessary or that's right don't, just because I always had a saying that just because it's right don't make it right. It's kind of hard to explain, within the context of understanding. You kind of got to go through the situation within itself. But is one situation that I ran across a lot was like the truth. As the scriptures say, a man holdeth his tongue, knowing the season. There's a time and place for everything. Police pull you over, and you hurry up and buckle your seatbelt, and then the police come up and say, "Hey man, your tail light is out." You ain't gonna say, "By the way, I wouldn't drive. I was driving without a seatbelt." You know what I'm saying? Just because it's right, truth is right. You know what I'm saying? But just because it's right don't make it right. Okay. You should adhere to laws and follow laws to your best abilities. But as the scriptures say, better is to hide thy folly than to hide thy wisdom. Okay. So with that being said, I want to get into 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. The point is towards the end of the chapter, but I think this whole chapter in particular is a really good chapter. It says, moreover, brethren, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. It says, moreover, brethren, I would not ye should be ignorant how that all of our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. That's talking about the time of Moses, which is going to say, but I'm just, reiterating it. And we're all baptized under Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat. So we all were together. We all did the same thing. We went through the Red Sea. Our people, whether it was us in the reincarnation or another generation of Israel, long story short, that everybody went through those blessings and miracles of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? And it says, verse 4, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushai. Okay, which proves that Yahushai was that pillar, that cloud, leading them by day and by night. The pillar of fire by night and the cloud by day. Okay, that proves that was Yahushai. Okay, so continuing on, it says, but with many of them, Yahushai was not well pleased. So just because that just goes into the many are called but few are chosen. Many people come into the flock. Many people come into the this truth, but just because you're here don't mean your spot is solidified. Just because you went through that Red Sea don't mean your spot was solidified. Just because you ate that manna and you drank from that rock don't mean your spot was solidified. Okay? And the same thing within this ministry. Just because we're out there doing the work, I've done the work, I got my garments on, I know the name, I'm doing the basics of a prophet, even more than the basics, it doesn't mean my spot is solidified. Okay? That's basically what it's alluding to. Okay? So it's like, just like the scriptures say, have we not cast out devils in thy name? The Lord say, get away from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you. That's why that gives an understanding of it. It's all about enduring to the end and remaining a man of the Lord internally and externally. Okay? By faith and by works. Okay, verse 6, it says, now these things were examples to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted, because you have men that went through the Red Sea and ate the manna and things like that also got swallowed up by the earth when they try to buck up against Moses. It's not like it's a random selection of people who will make it and people who won't make it. It was actually a situation pardon me, it was actually a situation and a righteous judgment that transpired, from their actions. You know, they started bucking up against order, or started murmuring and complaining and things like that. Okay, it says, verse 7, it says, "Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up early to play." So basically, these are the same people that were delivered via through the Red Sea. When the Most High, you got to kind of extrapolate, put yourself in that position. When the Most High do something like that to you, it can set in your mind that I'm straight. It's just like NFL players that get into the NFL. Most of these individuals, especially specifically Jake, they've been through hardship. They've been poor. They've been down. They've been, they barely had anything to eat. But then when they get their money, they go into the Antonio Brown or Ray Rice or, Aaron Hernandez type of mindset. Whatever the catalyst is to tip them over. But the point is, like the scriptures say, when you're in affliction, there's a, you basically, Sirach says affliction, you think about the Most High, but when there's riches, you forget about affliction, basically. And that's what happened with the bulk, I would say 2/3 of Israel after they got that salvation. They felt like they was on cloud nine. They felt like they was rich. Okay, so they felt like basically nothing could stop them. And some people take that energy and make it negative. As the scriptures say, to the pure all things are pure, and to the faithful, the unbelieving, there's nothing pure. Basically, that Red Sea to the pure is like, okay, the Lord's working with us, let's do something positive with our talents, compared to someone that is thinking in the wicked sense. They're always going to turn into a negative sense, like, oh, the Lord dealing with us, I ain't got to do nothing, the Lord will take care of it. So verse 8, it says, "Neither let us commit fornication," which, the Lord's talking about spiritual fornication. Mainly, don't commit fornication, period, because that's a law. But in this particular verse, it's talking about spiritual fornication by messing with other gods. Okay? And guess what? That's what happened to our people when Moses went into the mountain. They made idols. It wasn't even that long. Okay? So just like now, our people have a bit of liberty. Yahushua is gone, so to speak. There's not a king present. And I say that specifically. There's not a king or head prophet present on a level that was initiated and perpetuated by Yahushua, by Yahushua. There's not a Samuel. There's not that renowned, solidified head prophet. As the scriptures say, we don't have kings and things like that. There's times that we have them, but there's times we don't. Not saying that our apostles aren't our heads and things like that. No, they are the heads, but the position that they're in, they're not recognized as the solidified head. As I haven't experienced it, but you had our elder Ariah before our time, and then you had Moses, was King Masha. In those particular situations, they were kings in that position because they were solidified heads. They were solidified, under everybody knew what was up, even though it was quarrels and things like that, but it was solidified. Right now, we're kind of scattered and we're separated, being amongst the same umbrella, but at the same time, the Lord is dealing with GMS, starting off with our apostle Tahar, but other camps don't see that. The world doesn't see that. They may recognize it, but it's not like in the ringleader of this. It's not like President Trump or things like that, where for a fact this is the guy. Okay. Within their time and before that, they always had a guy. Okay, from what I've seen, from Abba Bivens, our predecessor Abba Bivens, Ariah, and King Masha is clear. Okay, but through spiritually, the Spirit just had me speak on that. Again, I don't know them personally. I've seen what I've seen, as far as videos and how the apostles speak on them. So I don't have the authority or the solidified knowledge to speak on their particular situation. Okay. So let's continue within the scriptures. Verse 8, it says, neither let us commit fornication, as some of them commit and fell in one day 320,000. Right? And that basically they stopped believing that Moses was the leader, and the world swallowed them up. Now that shows you the connection of fornication. When the Lord set somebody up and you start bucking up against that or rebelling, that's fornication. It just showed you, because that situation that made them do that, they question Moses as leader and they want to go against him. So again, you could say that these other camps are fornicating against the Most High by resisting the will of the apostles, because the Most High put the Spirit on the apostles to teach and to preach His word. It's not the apostles that's putting this energy out. It's not like the scriptures say, Apollo watered, Paul planted, but the Most High gave the increase. So when the Most High is dealing with somebody, that that has to be acknowledged. Right now, the apostles of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is dealing with the apostles of GMS and these other camps such as ISUPK, IUIC, such on and so forth. They're bucking up against the apostles and saying, it was even said that they don't even recognize GMS, and that's fornication. That's nothing but spiritual fornication, because why not? It's quite cut and clear that we're doing the work. That's like saying we don't recognize any of these camps that are doing the work out there. Because why? Because you don't affiliate with us? That's a carnal mindset. That's neither here nor there. We're just processing through the scriptures, okay? That's a valuable point, and it shows how wicked these other camps are, and it shows that the Most High is going to be righteous in His judgment with His indignation toward these other camps, because you have no spiritual right to say that you don't recognize a man that's fighting a good fight to their best ability. You may not recognize the things that they go off on, and you might not feel how our energy is, but you cannot say you don't recognize the work that we're putting in for the Lord. The apostles never discredited any of the camps about going out there hitting the highways, because why? That's more important than how I feel about that particular individual personally, because we're not grouping up with you, because we're not, that's a corner, that's a nigga, give me my ball back, or I'm gonna say this because you made me mad. You can't do that, okay? that's biased judgment, okay? But you recognize Sinetta and all these other, they shouldn't be recognized at all, but you recognize them, because how you recognize them? You're on their shows, you're inviting them to places and things like that, and they're, and the fact that to support you, you decide to recognize them, okay? Which means, you're basically being yoked with unbelievers. Okay, verse 9 says, neither let us tempt Yahweh Shai, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. So basically, murmuring is a good thing. It's basically it's a good point. It's complaining without doing something. It's fussing and throwing a fit about something and not doing nothing. You want to throw a fit about us doing the work? Go out there and do the work. You want to throw a fit about Esau's system? Why are you supporting the system? You want to throw a fit about 2/3 of non-believers? Why are you joining with them? Why are you an enabler to their cause? Okay? And we all know why, but we don't have to get into it because that's speculation. But spiritually, we know why. Okay? Verse 11 says, now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. So these situations is showing that the Lord provided. That's why the Lord said require that which is past, because the Lord is providing these situations for us to sit there and say, oh, this is how you're not supposed to act. The right way to act is this, that, and the third. Okay? It says, wherefore, let them that thinketh he standeth, and take heed lest he fall. There have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So, you know, going into that particular verse is saying that you don't never conceive that what you're going through is so horrendous that you can't make it through, and it's not, you're not built for this. Okay? It says, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak to the wise men, judge ye what I say. The cup of blessings, which is the cup of blessing which we bless, is not the communion of the blood of Yahushai. The bread which ye break is it not the communion of the body of Yahushai? For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. You see, all the Israelites in this group, just because we are cutting you and, you know, and saying what you're doing wrong, we're still one body. We're still Israelites. Okay? So it shouldn't be to the point like to scream raka against your brother. You should never do that. Because he rubbed you the wrong way, you want to dismiss this person. We're all one body. We're all eating the same bread. It's making you look bad. For you to recognize a heathen-like mindset of a group, and then disacknowledge men that's putting in the work of the Lord because they made you mad. It's not about what you want and what your order is and what you want to do. That's the problem that has been revealed. Everybody called to come under the command in general because I said so and this and that, and because y'all offended me, you're not acknowledged. Really ain't doing nothing, but that you're just playing, you're just showing your hand. Okay? Verse 17, it says, for we being many are one, Salakia, verse 18, behold, Israel after the flesh are not they which eat of the sacrifices, partakers of the altar? So, you know what I'm saying? It's basically saying no matter what you do, you're still, you know, a part of the ministry. It says, behold, Salakia 19, what say I then? That the idols is anything? Or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not the Most High. And I would not that ye have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and of the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. And that's what we're standing for. Even though we all are one body, we all of the same bread, but at the same time, we're not going to eat at the same table as people that are going off. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to sit there and say you're non-existent or you don't, you know, or 2/3 is still an Israelite. So when they're going through the affliction, there's still the affliction and curses still are Deuteronomy-based afflictions and curses. You know? It's just that you wasn't called. It's just that you weren't chosen. Okay? It says, do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no questions for conscience sake. So this is the point I wanted to get to mainly. It says, whatsoever is sold in shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. So when somebody gives you something or offers you something, because remember, there's no enchantment against Jacob. So you can go, and this is meat right here, but you can go to a potluck, say a potluck, or a Christmas party, or Thanksgiving, say you roll up over there, you know that they're doing something, or you got a good idea that they're doing something, and they offer you a plate. If they offering you a plate because they want you to eat it. You know what I'm saying? And you can purposely not ask them, is this a Thanksgiving plate? Is this a plate for this particular case? Because once you do that, then now your conscience is, you solidified it. consciously that I shouldn't be eating this thing. Okay? It says that for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. If any of them believe not, bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed. And that word disposed go back to have pleasure, to go, right? If any of them that believe not bid you to go to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, or you have pleasure to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. So you know this person ain't right. You know this person eat. You really main thing you need to eat is it pork in here? Is it any unclean food in here? Outside of that, I don't want to. I don't want to know. It ain't my business. You sincerely asked me as an individual to come, okay? And I'll go. And if it ain't fucking up my day or messing up my day, then yeah, bro, I'll show up, But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And it tells you, so you got libations. And somebody say, I thank white Jesus and this and that, or white power, and you got the cup too. You're not supposed to drink after that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to set that motherfucker down and be like, nah, I'm good. I don't support that. But if you know this nigga's racist, but you know that cup is clean, you know that the beverage they gave you is clean, or whatever drink or food they gave you is clean, you just eat your food, man. The Lord fed you at that point in time. But don't sit there and white power with them, white power, and then you drink. You basically supporting it at that point. You feel me? So the same thing goes with like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and things like that. Or, whatever they got going, okay? It could be a fucking divorce party. Like, you got a good idea what's going on, but, that's on y'all. I ain't supporting this shit. I came in for the food. Give me some food, Came in for the beaches. Verse 29 says, conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? So it's for conscience sake, you know what I'm saying? And it's for, basically, once you do that, you letting them know, oh man, this nigga, he act like he this and that, but he be eating Thanksgiving food. Like, I told him that, you know what I'm saying? But if you play stupid, you know what I'm saying, and you eat it, like, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Or you just gave me some food, G, because we're representative of Yahweh Shai. It says, for if I by grace be partaker, who I am evil spoken of, for that for which I give thanks. Whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of the Most High. Give no offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of the Most High. So it says you give no offense, be not a stumbling block. So if somebody's waking up, you should avoid all appearance of evil. So if you shouldn't there's things we can't eat and can do that will make a person stumble, and you shouldn't do that in front of them, okay? Just because everything is lawful doesn't make it expedient, okay? So just because it's cool to do don't mean you should do it. Just because it's right don't make it right, okay? Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they might be saved, that they may be saved. So the whole point is to help somebody wake up. So even going to a bar, going to the club, drinking, anything of a basic, you know what I'm saying? You're going to a club and that brother's like, it's 2/3 out there. You hanging with 2/3, like what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that brother may be too young for you to let him know that type of information, And so you gotta, the scripture says avoid all appearance of evil. So you should want to, appear righteous. You're not faking, but you're just shielding that person from information that they're not ready for. Just the same as Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai said that there's information out there that we're not able to handle at this point in time. And that's just that. It's not for you, or it's not for us. And it's not a negative thing. It's just that we may not understand the breakdown of it or how it's supposed to go. And that's fine, as long as the Lord's will is being done. So with that being said, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makar, Kadash. I want to give double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. I want to say blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity, a sincere Ahava Thumb Sequoia. Shalom.